Not purpose.
Mine's on now.
Yeah, go ahead and turn them on. We should.
7
be live.
o'clock.
Do we got time yet?
Yeah, we got 7.
Say something, Kevin. It should be working.
Yes, it is.
All right. If it is 7 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
let me get my stuff in order here.
My battery. Yeah.
It's not doing anything?
No.
Let's. Oh. Dead. I'll run over there after we do our. At some point I'll run over there. You'll have to use Tim's if you got a shower about something. Okay, let's call the meeting to order at 7:01 maybe?
7:01.
Okay, let's do the pledge of allegiance. So that's these red hat ladies coming for food. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So could we have a roll call, please, clerk?
Treasurer Hop.
Here.
Trustee Monet.
Here.
Trustee Detmer.
Here.
Clerk Kern here. Supervisor Bertrand.
Here.
All right.
Well, we can start with the board reports. I'll get this thing. Mr. Detmer. Batteries, doing better, sure. Okay. Board reports and public questions. First one is supervisor. For the supervisor's report, I am deeply involved in almost everything except taxes. So don't blame me for those.
Thank God.
Yeah. Last month was dominated by Parks and Recreation Committee grant writing preparation for the huge success that was the Winterfest in Lyon Township and working on the new fiscal year 26-27 budget. I'm going to take a moment here rather than in board comments. I'm sure I'll miss some who deserve it, but besides our maintenance crew, the fire department, Parks and Rec Committee, I want to thank a few persons in particular for their help in the last hour prep for Winterfest. Ron Wiltsey from Newcraft Metal Products in Roscommon for his invaluable help in preparation for the spectacular Bob Badich is the artist. Carved 4th fish in the Roscommon County Water Tour. The best lake trout rendition I've ever seen. It'll be permanently set at Phoenix Park in the spring. Tracy Pardue Smith from the Higgins Lake Roscommon Chamber of Commerce. All of this starts with her and her guidance. Kudos to you, Tracy. Amanda Wichinski for being her always insightful and helpful self. Greg Welling from our fire department, B&B Marina, for his last minute help with the parking lot and the sled hill and everything else he does for the fire department. Keith Myers from Landworks of Northern Michigan, LLC, right down by the Silver Dollar. He came in at the last hour with a great attitude on the ice rink and will still help us babysit it. Last but not least, Richard Maplebeck from our maintenance crew. Casey had a couple health issues there. He put his best effort into prepping that rink with JC when JC could. And then he took over when things needed to get finished on the Winterfest prep and the warming and the skates shed. So I hope to see you all for an even bigger Winterfest next year. And that is my supervisor report. Next is the treasurer report. I'm sorry, but you, anybody got any questions for me? Okay, we'll move on to the treasurer.
Mine's pretty straightforward. Taxes are winding down now. Thank God. Just a, just this is a former treasurer now. Yesterday alone, we did almost $200,000 in collections for the last day, which was, kept us busy, but it's starting to wind down. Made our, uh, first millage payment, for the first and last of the month until we settle out the end of the month for March. All refunds have been made to date. Collections for the Camp Cornelius sewer is concluded, and we collected $127,000 to date, with $15,000 owing that's outstanding, which is pretty good, I think. So that went well. Winterfest participated in that. Cooked. I didn't expect to cook almost 300 hot dogs, but it is what it is, and it was fun. Attended now my first planning commission meeting, being on the planning commission board. Hopefully I can get these guys lighting a fire under them and get stuff moving. And finally now just having time to look at all the budget numbers, which should be first and foremost going forward. And that's it.
Any questions for Treasurer Hobbs? Okay, we'll keep moving along. How about a clerk report? Clerk, huh?
Well, this is my report up to today. The usually slow winter, we've had a beehive of activity. It's not just the clerk's office. The clerk's office is busy most of the time, but most committees, all officers, especially the treasurers, we've had very little time to talk to each other. Winterfest is over, taxes are almost over, the budget work is just starting. Please check the website, Facebook, bulletin board, and newspapers for important upcoming meetings. We try to have them all there and plenty of time for you to make your plans. Like I said, there has been very little time to talk to the treasurer or his deputy, and soon we'll be out of that and we'll get back to our normal half dozen visits per day. I could not get by without my deputy clerk, and she's my right arm. She checks on me all the time, things I don't do timely or don't do correctly, and it gets corrected. All state and federal taxes have been taken care of as required. Preparations underway for another election in May. And I had a wonderful time over the weekend at Winterfest. There'll be lots more later at our meeting, tell you the good and the bad and other things. Although sometimes it's a trying experience being in that office, I thank you all for allowing me to serve as the township clerk. That's it.
Any questions for Clerk Fern? Okay, hearing none, let's move on to Trustee Detmer.
I trained Bruce and then, you hear me now? Better. I always get told I talk too softly, so my wife talks twice as much as me because she usually says what, and then I have to say it again, so that works not good. But Bruce and I went through the liquor inspections, and I showed him the basic inspections that I do, what to look for and the different things. He caught on really fast, just talking to people and stuff like that. And that's half of the job, is being able to communicate. So I was really impressed with that. I thought that all went well. I studied a couple of these things that we're looking at now, trying to look at the budget, stuff like that. That's really not my biggest strength, but I still want to try to be as informed as I possibly can. And I think that's about it.
Okay, any questions for trustee Detmer? Okay, trustee Monet.
Good evening. I don't have much to report. I've spent the last 3 months now doing an inordinate amount of research on the short-term rental ordinances across the state of Michigan. I know it's not open for discussion yet. Hopefully, it's coming very, very soon because we are receiving emails from residents concerned with the short-term rental ordinance. And there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of appellate court cases that need to be talked about. There's a lot of court cases for the state Supreme Court that have made rulings that'll dictate where and why we should go forward with this or not go forward with this. I have been reviewing the budget, and I definitely have some questions when this comes up later this evening. And on top of that, I've spent quite a bit of time having discussion with people at the Michigan Township Association for further training and some directions I can go as a trustee for things that are transpiring within our township. Thank you.
Any questions for trustee Monet? If there aren't any, we will move on to the maintenance report, which there is none today. JC has been having some health issues that is thankfully recovering from. So he did do a fire report. I'll read that. We are at 18 runs as of 1/1/26. We did a few repairs throughout the building on drywall for cracks. The annual DOT inspections are done on all trucks. Had some repairs done on the fire pump, had a line freeze on the bottom. Cost of repairs was $3,500. Had our annual pump test done. The cost was $1,200. And the Winterfest was a success. We did 210 pancake and sausage breakfasts. Chili went well, but they only had 2 entries. I probably can't answer any questions about any of this, so we'll leave it at that. Next would be Parks and Rec, and Parks and Rec Chair Leanne Wisniewski is here too. Wisniewski, sorry. Was it? Which one is it? Now, there we go. Nothing like having a married couple come in. Eh?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you shouldn't have to get too close. It should pick it up.
I like to get really close to it. Good evening, everyone. This is a rather lengthy Parks and Rec Committee update, as we are meeting 2 to 3 times a month to, well, what we have done so far is we have developed the 5-year plan for the Parks and Recs. The master plan was developed. And right now we're working on 2 large grants with Amanda Wachinski. No, yeah, Wachinski. Want to make sure I say her name right. We're currently making selections for play equipment for Samoset Park. We're obtaining quotes for the equipment. We're obtaining quotes for the asphalt trail at Park 27 and the wood chips at Park 27 in Samoset. We're developing a layout of the equipment in the parks. We're working out details of the storybook trail on the 3-mile trail at Park 27. We have obtained letters of support from community members and neighbors of the parks. And if anyone is interested in writing a letter of support, we would take it and it gives us bonus points on our grant. We have submitted for the grant for the life jacket station for Samoset, which includes the station itself and life jackets from sizes child through extra large adults. This The value of this grant is $2,100. It's similar to the one at South State Park, if you've seen that one. And we should find out soon about that one. We also submitted for the Clean Water, Clean Boats Invasive Outreach Education Grant, which is valued at $3,000. This would include signage and educational materials to support hosting invasive species education events at beach parks. And they should reach out to us soon as well to see if we've gotten this. But we have received a reservation for the DTE tree planting grant, which we would be able to share with the village of Roscommon. So it's 10 trees in total. And we're going to share with the village. We get 5 trees and then they get 5 trees. And they should be reaching out soon and we will be deciding where those will go actually soon, but they'll be planted in May. Paul already touched on the fish unveiling at the Winterfest. In the spring, it will be placed in its permanent home at Phoenix Park, and we're currently discussing and deciding upon the proper placement and mounting needed. He also talked about the ice rink. And the ribbon cutting was at Winterfest. The ice rink has been an ongoing challenge for everyone involved, but I think it's getting better. I think. Maybe with the weather changing, I don't know. Well, now we're in the rain again, so I don't know. The loaner skate program it was a success. It still is a success. We're working on getting the word out about the shed and skates. The shed has benches and slots for shoes, and inside are skates of all sizes for kids and adults. Hockey skates, figure skates, all kinds of different ones that everyone can try. So as far as that goes, everyone loved to skate at Winterfest. We had a ton of people on the ice and it was really super exciting and it was just a really, really good time. But now I'm looking forward to summer and discussing the concert series, which we're going to start doing in the next couple meetings. Some of the things to improve upon to add to the experience, but right now we do have all our bands booked, which is exciting. And the Village of Roscommon reached out to me the last couple of days to see when our concerts were taking place so that they could schedule some concerts of their own, because I don't think that the Craft Center is doing it this year. So the Irish Kilt is wanting to do one, but they want to, they don't want to do it on the same night as us. So that's it, I think. Any questions?
I have one. Do you have an inside information on when summer's coming? I see you'd like it to, this is leaving my house.
Yeah, well, Groundhog said 6 more weeks.
I'd say. Groundhog got run over by a car that's getting on the ice, so we don't know. So we hopefully within a couple months we'll get some things going.
Yeah.
But nice job from the PR committee on the stuff. I heard no negative comments,
What?
none,
Right.
except I can't get a hot dog from the hot dog man. But other than that,
I have a question. Thank you, by the way. It hasn't been brought up in a while. Has there been any more discussion on access to the parks that was brought up last fall, as far as like what's going to go underneath when we get into spring and summer, as far as like, how that was discussed about whether there's going to be mats, is it going to be mulch, is there going to be wheelchair access?
Okay.
Has there been any update on that?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe we have decided on mulch. Obviously we need to update Park 27's mulch. And then with the asphalt trail coming through, now this is pending the grant. We're really hoping on getting it. But with the asphalt trail coming down, it would also, there would be more access to some of the other equipment. But wood chips is probably in now with the new wood chips. So to be honest with you, I was really hesitant because Samoset Park has never had wood chips. And
Yeah.
I'm so hesitant about it, but with the new, they're like beveled on all the edges, so you're not getting slivers, you're not getting, and this has been verified through the company. Because we asked for their report on how many kids we're getting, because this is a hill I will die on.
So that meets all the requirements
Mhm.
for the handicap requirements.
Yeah.
It's,
That would take it, yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
And for the fall zone.
Yeah, get this, so the dip.
So, yeah.
Yeah, 12
The
inches.
fall zone would be covered,
Nice.
wheelchair access would be covered.
Okay.
And then we're deciding on some play equipment that would include, because we had a neighborhood resident write a letter of support near Samoset. He has a nonverbal autistic grandson. And he is hoping for some musical stuff, the water and sand table, that kind of stuff
Yeah.
that his grandson can walk up to and use with other kids. Because he's nonverbal, he still wants to interact.
Right.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're thinking of everything. 2 of our committee members, myself included, and one other have younger children, and then grandchildren. 2 of them have grandchildren. And then there's Paul with his grandchildren. So we're always thinking of what we can do for the kids and updating. But Samoset hasn't been updated, I don't know, since the 70s.
Yeah. Awesome.
So that's it.
Any other questions? I would add.
Thank you. Thank you.
In doing research on the wood chips and stuff, I talked to somebody yesterday who pretty much filled me in that when you use the mats, there's issues with that going forward in our climate, where you get moss growing on them. And they're suggesting we'll stick with the wood mulch too, instead of putting something like that in. So
I will say we did extensive research on other types. We fell in love with the cork because it's hypoallergenic. It wouldn't, there's no chemicals in the lake. It's soft. It's like $300,000.
Yeah.
For like just the false.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, so,
Change why you need swings would sell.
oh. Well, let me write that down. We probably discussed it, but one thing at Park 27 that they just brought up was it's a swing where you can put a wheelchair onto the swing and swing the actual wheelchair, which is pretty cool.
Swings are,
Okay.
So you don't get on them as often as you used to?
only when you get out.
Okay. Deal.
Oh, boy.
One final comment, just a thought, maybe something worth looking into. I don't know. Everyone knows how much I love cats. Love my cats. I rescue all the time. I work hand in hand when I can with One Love Rescue out of Houghton Lake.
Okay.
Maybe at one of the parks, just food for thought with like little kids, maybe adopt a kitten, come play with the kittens, section off an area, let the kids come down in the summer, get these local rescues and see if maybe we can get some of these kittens adopted out.
Yeah,
Just
like
just
a
a
little
thought.
event.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a thought.
it's a great thought. I will come and talk to you because we are actually thinking about adopting one, our family.
okay.
But I'll come talk to you personally about that.
Well, you can never have too many in my.
You can have the one I was thinking for. No, nothing against cats.
No, I know.
I'm all done with pets.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Leanne. Ordinance officers next.
Coming to involve in Sexton at the same time.
Sexton would be next. You can do them both.
Okay. Like Steve said, we did the liquor inspection and all went well. And there were no issues. I did have a call this morning about somebody that wanted to apply for a short-term rental application. And I told them that the board had it under review and I would get back to them as soon as I had all the particulars.
So I told him I'd call him back.
Sure.
As far as, the sexton, no burials. But there have been a number of people walking to, grave sites, and I've seen a number of people walking the road with their dogs, so I just want to say I really appreciate the board letting that, cemetery be open all winter. It didn't take a whole lot of effort either to keep that cemetery open. Coming down the line, I already have 5 burials. I have 5 burials scheduled for April already. So,
How do they know when they're gonna pass?
they've already passed.
Some of them already passed.
Yeah, they're going.
Okay.
Not storing them?
We have not even been asked.
Yes, my brother said he had a over there. I didn't know that.
We were asked last year on 2 different occasions. This year, we were not asked at all, but
I guess when, like the call I had last week from Chrysler, when he wanted me to do a burial and I told him there was no way I could get through the snow to do it. At this point, he said, okay, well, we'll just store it till April. And I guess like if you guys decide you want to do that, I guess I could suggest that we store them.
No, we already said no.
Oh, you already said no? Okay. I didn't know that. Okay. That's all I got.
Thanks.
Right?
any questions for the ordinance officer or sexton? Okay. That concludes the board reports. Committee reports. And department reports. I will make a motion that we accept the board, committee, and department reports as given today. Do we have a second?
Second,
Okay, is there any discussion on that from the board? Hearing none, we'll end the discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
And opposed the same. Okay, that motion carries 5-0. Next is approval of the consent agenda. I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda, including payroll from 1/23/26 through 2/19/26. Payables from 1/23/26 through 2/19/26. Minutes from township board work sessions. Or work session 1/14/26 and monthly township board meeting 1/21/26. And the board, committee, and department reports given today, all to be filed with the clerk's office. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any second by Kern? Is there any discussion on it from the board?
Not really a discussion so much as that, my check register says 1/19/26, so I don't know if we want to leave out those 4 days. You said 1/23 for the check register as well as the invoice register,
1/23/2. What's on yours?
1/19.
Is that what's on this one too? The error would certainly be on me. I don't have one in front of me.
Oh.
Well, no, I mean, if it's on another one, there,
Yeah,
I didn't think there was a second one. So what's the correct date on that?
invoice register is 1/23 like you stated, and check register is 1/19 through 2/19.
Okay, I will briefly restate it.
If that's,
Well, if somebody else looked at one and told me that the date was 1/19, sure.
Well, we're looking at the two and there must be a reason for it. Maybe that's the pay dates. Maybe, one's close to the 15th and they get paid on the 15th and 30th most of the time, and the payables is a week later. And that's not quite a week, but it's almost a week.
It's no difference to me. If it's up on the paper, I can change it.
No, I think that's the way it's supposed to be.
With the 1/23,
119
1/19.
for the checks and the payables, 123.
Okay, let me run it by real quick, man.
Okay.
Motion to approve the consent agenda payroll from 1/23/26 through 2/19/26. Payables from 1/19/26.
Just the opposite.
Sorry.
Payables 123 and the payroll for 119.
Now I'm a little confused. I thought it was payables from 1/19.
Payable. Just one thing, too.
Okay, so from payroll 119, we'll get it right.
Right.
Yep.
And payables 123. Here we go again. Make the motion to approve the consent agenda payroll from 1/19/26 through 2/19/26. Payables from 1/28/26 through 2/19/26.
No, 123. You said 128.
Oh, I crossed that out already. 1/23/26 through 2/19/26. Minutes from the Township Board Work Session 1/14/26, monthly Township Board Meeting 1/21/26, and the Board, Committee, and Department reports given today, all to be filed with the Clerk's office.
Okay.
As restated, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion from the board?
Yeah, only a comment. As we had discussed previously, today's the first time I'm seeing this. And I just maybe wished it were in my box just a couple days in advance so I could review it. I don't see anything right off the top too out of place or out of the ordinary, but yeah, it's still a lot to digest on the spot. That's all.
Any other discussion from the board? Okay, on that, motion as restated. All in favor signify by saying aye.
I asked for a roll call. There's money.
Sure.
Thank you.
Clerk Kern, could we do a roll call on that?
Sure, let's see, where did we start before we did Treasurer Hobson? We got Trustee Monet.
Yay.
Was that a yay or nay?
It's a yay.
Yay. Okay. And Trustee Detmer?
Aye.
I'm still on here.
He's a yay.
Diesel.
Yay.
Okay. Clerk Byrne, yay. Treasurer Hunt,
Yes.
Supervisor Bertrand.
Yes.
Okay, 5-0.
Okay, motion carries 5-0. So we are now to board comments. I don't know if I said this, but after you give your reports, you don't necessarily have to hang through the whole meeting. That's completely up to you. I know like JC and other people leave, so he usually stays sometimes. Okay, board comments.
Does I get to go too?
Only if I go first.
Did you give your report? You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Going second time, any board comments?
I just have, are we discussing all of this within the agenda? All this? That was.
I don't know what you're referring to as.
Well, this is the attorney's opinion on the ordinance officer and other stuff.
Oh, and
Is this-
when we get to the ordinance officer, I gave that out. It's not necessarily gonna get read or anything. We need to make some decisions. That was just information I was passing.
Okay, anyway. And then if it's all gonna be discussed or not, that's fine, then there's no comment.
Okay, hearing none. We will move on. Next would be the approval of the meeting agenda with additions or modifications. I have none. Anybody else from the board have something that they want to add or remove? Okay, I don't hear any. I'm gonna move fast. I will make a motion to approve the agenda as written. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, second from Detmer. Any board discussion? And the discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed the same. Motion carries. So the first thing on the agenda is just a general discussion on the number one being the pros, the cons, and the concerns and suggestions for next year's Winterfest. My big one is I actually don't know. Does anybody know if they've always been on the President's Day weekend? Okay. My main thing is keep them on that weekend. That works well. So Parks and Rec, we'll go through some of this. This is more like for the board. If you guys got anything you want to throw in, it'll end up going to the Parks and Rec. Now's a good time to do it.
More advertising.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Every way. Mainly, I mean, you guys are on Facebook pretty good. I would say more flyers, establishments kind of thing. Because there were some people who said, I didn't even know this was going on. So anything you could do to increase the advertisement would be great.
Yeah, no, have page ad in the paper, there was, I think it's like community.
Yeah,
I think what we could do too is next year, and I don't think it was in the flyer with the winter taxes. Was it? I couldn't remember if it was or not.
there were, you know, there was some not,
I would just say, I don't know, maybe, advertising more at Landmark, the Silver Dollar, Good Times, yeah.
I haven't found that one against you.
Yeah.
something I wanted to. When we do social media for ourselves, as in the township Facebook site, we're dealing with mostly us. This thing is a countywide, bigger than that deal. I was not impressed with what was going on in Garris to promote it. But it was pointed out to me, and I think they're absolutely right. Hardly anybody reads newspapers anymore. Everything's done on the phones. I think we can up our game, do promotional videos, do a whole lot of different things, but I'm more and more convinced now. We have to hit more Facebook sites and we need to do stuff on phones because that's the way the world is.
I think the chamber could help out a lot.
They
That
did.
as well.
People Keith Meyer's age, a little younger than him, his wife did a video and put it out.
Yeah,
As an example of something that we could do, Andrew from AAO Media, we could task him to make things. They promoted the stuff in Roscommon. I think I'm old. I'm thinking old. People have made the point to me recently, that when it's countywide like this, they're not coming to Lyon Township Facebook page to look at anything.
No.
And
We share it.
yeah, certainly all of that.
yeah, if anything,
That might be one of the issues that, oh, 27.
Well, there's that, and then
Be at the north,
uh-huh.
it was jammed with
another thing, yeah,
We need to do like a snowmobile, like they used to do over at North State Park, what do you call it, the radar runs in front of North State Park. Like there's other things to advertise for, that's all.
clay, it's a winter fest.
okay.
I'm just thinking, it's just,
I know. Please, okay, what really should be happening is if you got something to say, get up and use the mic. Because if we're not recording this stuff and getting all the
I
items.
would like to record.
Um,
The sheet that came out with the buttons was very informational. People were reading it when they came in, they were gonna let loose some money anyways, given that they in their taxes. And then they start reading, it says, well, this can't be, how much are the hot dogs? How much is this? How much is that? It's just, no, it's all for the $5 button. And they couldn't believe it. So the one woman took 5, another one took 4. That's the kind of a thing, a one sheet thing can go in with the taxes. How much more money can it be?
I guess it would
Yeah.
$160, I actually know that.
Well,
You put one in. No, it's not.
and then also maybe a follow-up. So like, you know, who won the fish contest? Who won the raffle? Maybe some pictures. I haven't seen anything on Facebook about that day.
There's,
I have not seen anything. Maybe I missed something. I mean, there should be a follow-up maybe to the winners of various events. Like I said, I haven't seen anything, but I don't spend a lot of time.
competition for the dog prizes. The
Oh, yeah,
that.
no,
The winner win.
let me,
I think so.
let me say something here, so, because it kind of clears that up. There was no, the newspaper, your colleague was there in the morning, but I don't know if she stayed through all the events. AO Media came out and shot some video. In hindsight, probably could have got on him to do something more. But there's something I need to find out here. I don't know how much promotion can be contrary to Tip Up Town. When they're doing Tip Up Town, I don't know that the Chamber of Commerce is necessarily going to be into like putting a lot of promotional effort, because this whole thing for Winterfest pretty much happened right after Tip Up Town ended. So I need to have some conversations with people. They may be a little reluctant to dive in head first at that, you know, earlier than what happened this year. That doesn't mean we can't. Certainly, any ideas, you can email them to me or anybody on the board. We'll get them to the Parks and Rec Committee. Lots of things to consider.
So I have a comment, if I may. That, you know, I am sorry, her name escapes me right now, the lady from the chamber. There you go, yes, okay. So I spoke to her last year about this. Like, parts of it take place here in Lyon Township. Why local businesses, as few as are not more engaged in Lyon Township. And just as an example, not just because I work there, Good Times through various owners and names is 100 years old this June. In 33 years that Linda's been there, Winterfest people have approached her once. She's never had buttons to sell. She's never had badges. She's never had promotions, except that one time in all these years. Now, I'm not sure exactly how long Winterfest has been going on, but 33 years going on 34, it's happened once. She's always up for sponsorship stuff. You know, she sponsored the softball kids last year and some volleyball kids at the beach and everything else. But yeah, so I find that a little alarming that an iconic business, no matter who owns it, that they haven't gotten her involved at all.
We don't have that many businesses. She certainly should have been contacted, don't you?
No, not at all. No, I'm not even going.
And us, paying some of business ourselves.
Yeah.
Costed. And left for, we just don't have the funds to get it, because we're not making money currently.
Yeah.
So I want to say I discouraged everyone to go out. I know that it's still open,
Right.
but they give for every event that we do. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And I would want to continue, I don't like it when people come to me 5 or 6 times.
Right.
Over the summer wanting money from us. I will help, you know, do. So I think that maybe that might be part of it, but I will definitely have her on the list for.
Well, this is something I talked to, this is to me on the county. I mean, absolutely. I mean, we can only, you know, facilitate so much if, you know, county doesn't want to engage.
Yeah, the county didn't have anything to do with it. Higgins Lake, Roscommon Chamber of Commerce. I'm gonna just say this once.
Like how-
There's a lot of political stuff going on here.
Okay.
There are places that are not getting asked. But it went well, and we can make it better.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
As I know.
They went where they went Who selected that locations? I don't know. That's what I need to find out.
Mhm.
Perfect example is that nothing went to the hardware. So the average person would go, why? I'm gonna say it again. There's a lot of political stuff going on in here.
What do you mean by political?
Well,
Just curious.
So, uh,
I'll say it, 'cause this year, one of my things this year is that I don't care anymore. I think a lot of people in Garish are still upset with us about the sewer. I don't know if it transfers to the Chamber of Commerce, but to promote Lyon Township for anything is a leap that some people maybe don't want to take. So we had almost all the kid events here except for the sledding downhill, but the opening ceremony was at the cross country ski shop. The Tin Fish and Silver Dollar had something to do with it. I don't know. I plan on trying to find out what the hang up is. But we can promote it ourselves. That's what I was talking to you earlier about a month ago was to, we could potentially run ads for the stuff we're doing here, you know, if that's what it's gonna take.
I don't know if this will fall in line for what you'd like, but the fire chief came in the other day and we were having a long talk about only 2 chilies being available. He thought there was gonna be 3. And I said to him, you know, in Detroit, we had a big deal. All the firehouses would put a thing. He says, why don't we do that county-wide with all the township firehouses? They're all they have a designated cook for sure, but many people do this. Why not? How many do we have? Do we have 6? 5? Mhm. 8? Oh, now that would be wonderful. My goodness. People were in there, they only had to choose between 2. If they had to choose between 8, that's a tough deal. Some of those, they were vastly different, the 2 chilies that were there, but, the crowd was a little disappointed. They thought there was gonna be 3 or 4, but that's all. Just another improvement.
yeah, speaking of chili, so I'm not saying this is true or not, because I don't really know and I haven't researched it yet, because I just haven't. Couple people came into the store over Winterfest and conveyed to me that they're tired of the same people entering or winning every year, so they bowed out. Number one. Number two, they said they couldn't enter because they don't have a commercial kitchen. And if that's the case, then I'm like, if
That
it's
is true.
it is true,
Why don't they come here to cook them?
then to me that defeats the whole purpose of a community chili cook-off. So I say we scratch it. There you go. Exactly. So,
Again,
okay.
this is
Think of that part.
a Chamber of Commerce driven thing.
Yeah. Wow.
Mhm.
So it's
Okay.
not to say that we can't do more.
Interesting.
There's conversations coming. It's not on my to-do list immediately,
Yeah.
but,
All right.
again, email me if you got ideas. I'll get to the Park and Rec Committee. Cause there's more, we'll think of more as you think of them. I'm gonna close that for now, or like to close it
Yep.
for now and keep moving on. Thanks for the ideas. That's at least half of those I hadn't even heard before. Number 2 is a discussion and a motion on moving forward with pursuing any money owed to the township from GFL services for the duration of that the monthly township pickup rates were being overcharged. Backstory, maybe some of you know, it appears that there may be a considerable amount of money. And our attorney's advice is we could try and chase it down. And also some of the advice was go big, because a settlement is probably what's going to end up happening in the long run. So I'm asking for a motion now, because basically I would just tell our legal firm on retainer to go ahead, do what you think you need to do to try and get some of this money back. It's not ours, it's yours. So the motion being made, I shouldn't have done it that way. But the motion being made, is there a second on that?
I'll second.
Okay, so we'll just say any further discussion from the board.
So just out of curiosity, this hadn't, the GFL list on the agenda tonight didn't have anything to do with assessments or raising anything or anything. I thought that
No,
was
it's-
coming up tonight, but it's not.
No, it's about the rates we were overcharged.
Oh, okay, very good.
Oh, it's not on there, yeah, okay.
Okay, no, that's fine. Good.
No, I don't want to say the amount of money we're gonna, this is a legal matter.
Yep.
I do know from my experience, if you want $10, ask for 15. And, I have no problem with trying to get every nickel back, but it's probably not gonna work that.
No, no.
Look,
I will just say this, though, the burden of proof is going to be on us. So we gotta make sure we got our ducks in a row before we start going after a recycling giant. That's all I'll say.
Well, the proof is in everything that we already sent to the attorney, and he's saying, yeah,
Do we have it? Do we have backup for it? Not just written on a piece of paper. That's all. You're gonna make sure we can find bills. You're gonna have to go back 4 years, 5 years, just before we venture into. That's all. I'm for it. Don't get me wrong.
well,
I just want to make sure.
what was sent to the attorney was what Pam got from you
Mhm. I didn't give Pam anything.
No, we gave
in
them.
the records. It's coming from your office. So the combination of them, we sent them everything we could.
Yeah. We have a lot of information.
Yeah, I'm just saying, make sure before we get spending $20,000 on a lawyer to get $10,000 return.
You know, I agree.
Certainly a point worth making. Is there any other discussion from the board? All right, hearing none. I'll restate it. Discussion and motion on moving forward with pursuing any money owed to the township from GFL services for duration that the monthly township pickup rates were being overcharged. Could we have a roll call, please, Clerk Kern?
Yeah, sure. Let's see, I gotta see where we were, that was men had some. Trustee Detmer. Clerk Kern, yes. Treasurer Huff,
Yes.
uh, what is her name? You're sitting right next to me, Supervisor Bertrand.
Well,
Sorry.
that's not what I'm called.
Oh, no. We have a lot of levels down before. And trustee Monet,
Yeah.
5-0.
Okay, motion carries 5-0. Okay, number 3 is a discussion on setting the work hours and the pay rate for our ordinance officer, our new ordinance officer, Bruce. For the sake of discussion, I'll put them both together in order to generate a discussion. I'll make a motion that Bruce receive a pay of $17 an hour for the ordinance job and hours of up to 15 a week and as needed. So that covers the work hours and the pay. Okay, I'll state it again, just to be clear. I'll make a motion that we pay Bruce $17 an hour for his ordinance officer work up to 15 hours a week and as needed. Do we have a second on that for the sake of discussion? Yes.
Okay, yeah, we can discuss it. I'll second.
Okay, we have a second. All right, let her fly. What's everybody think?
I will open the discussion by saying the rate right now is $15. I would leave it at 15 for 30 or 60 days. Let's see how comfortable he is in this position and go from there. At that time, certainly 17 is probably going to be warranted, but let's see how things work out. I would not just give a pig in a poke and do do a raise before we even know he's going to stay. We don't have that information. I think the 15 or as needed is a good proposal, but I think the 17 is too much just to start with. It's been 15 for a while. I think it should stay 15 for, like I said, 30, 60 days, whatever the board decides. But that's why it's open for discussion.
I personally don't have a problem with it, with a short trial run. I mean, to your point, I mean, that's others decide as well. I mean,
To me, we hired him to do a job. I have confidence that he can. What I don't want to do is end up in situations similar to where we have one currently going on where in lieu of you doing a performance eval, which got shot down, somehow more money is promised based on job. I don't like that. As the attorney said, we can hire him and pay him, and if we end up not being satisfied with that, we can let him go. I'd rather do that than do like amendments to raise pay, but that's me.
So I'm gonna take a page out of trustee Monet's legal book.
There's a lot of.
When we hired Bruce, was it last meeting? At $15, correct?
Right.
And he accepted. Again, well, I'm with these guys. I have no problem doing a 30-day, 60-day, however, whatever decide to do. But he was hired at that rate to begin with. A week later, I don't understand why we're talking about more money.
Partially because we landed at 15 because we didn't talk about it before we hired him.
Well, that was the rate the
Yeah.
previous one was paid.
so the question begs for me, I'm just putting it out there. I'm not pointing fingers. Why wasn't this discussed beforehand? I'm just curious. I wasn't here for the special meeting when it took place, or otherwise I don't.
No, I think
or
it
the
was-
work session,
yeah,
excuse me. I mean, if it's important, it's
There was a difference of opinion, and
It was casually discussed.
some of the board members wanted to hire reasonably quick, and therefore ended up on the agenda.
So we would be amending, because it's already set that we would be amending the wage, because it's already set at 15.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Plus, I have no idea what his previous work hours even said. I was not a big fan of trying to do it before we worked all this out, but that's how it happens. And that's fine. We'll come up with something. That was my motion. If somebody's got a different motion they want to make, go ahead.
Well, I'm just gonna say for the record, the motion can't be valid the way it stands because it's a new motion. We would have to amend the old motion because he's already being paid $15 an hour.
Or defeat this motion and then make a new motion.
Yeah.
So if an amendment's easier, let's do that. And I would
Well, it
say
have to be because
15 and 15.
he's already on the books for that.
Mhm.
You guys passed it,
So we're just.
in my opinion. Now, I'm just gonna say my opinion.
Just know that we went on the various liquor inspections and I saw Bruce and I saw the way he interacted with the other people, and I've got confidence in him that he's gonna do a good job.
Absolutely.
And I don't know, if we did this reasonably. With the ordinance and circa 30.
Is there any other discussion on the motion the way I stated it?
We worked out and we should table and reconvene next month.
Well, okay, I mean, the motion is there because I can make it, we can vote it down.
Yeah.
Is there any other discussion on that for 17 an hour is up to 15 a week and as needed? If not, can we have a roll call on that? Quick burn.
Sure, quick burn, no. Treasurer Hobbs,
No,
trustee Monet,
No.
trustee Detmer,
Yes,
supervisor Bertrand.
Yes. Okay, so the motion fails at 2-3. So we're up for anything else anybody wants to try.
Only for the record, because for legal reasons, he's already on, you can't just say without amending the other one, so that's me.
I'm not a culprit herself. Opposed.
Yeah, make new motion 15 and 15. 15 hours or is needed and $15 to start.
Well, I think he's good at that right now, right? So I would say in another next meeting, wanna bring it up then? Or raise or whatever.
Well, since he's already got the 15.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I just feel that this should be tabled until this is all worked out. There's too much, this should have been pretty easy if all the, I guess, ins and outs of this were all worked out.
I thought it was done when we hired him.
Well, that's,
Man.
yeah, there you go.
Now,
I don't have a problem giving him more money. I'm sure he's aware how I feel. I think he should get more money, but
Yes.
there's too many. I feel like there's just too much discussion and too many variables that were never handled and like, we're just gonna do it now. Maybe this is what a work session should be for, is to discuss all this, but at the work session, you guys took care of that part. So I don't know.
I think formality wise, make a motion that we move it to a work session and see if it passes. I mean, we're gonna spin our wheels here. Let's get some things and see.
let's bring it up at the next work session.
You don't have to bring it up at all now. That one failed. We can move on.
Yeah,
So
we can bring it up again next time. We'll bring it up a new one, whatever. The motion failed, it's over. Let's move on.
So you don't want to put a time frame on when you would look at his job performance and change the pay rate?
Is that required?
I do.
Which is,
It's not a requirement, I'm just saying.
How long? Did you give a date or did you give a time? I was gonna say 30 to 60 days. Let's see how we're sitting. But did I hear 6 months?
I said next month's agenda.
Next month's agenda. Oh, okay. That'll be about 30 days. Holy mackerel, but you just solved the problem, Steve.
That's what I do. The problem solved.
Police.
Okay, so a new motion would be to review his pay rate at the next board meeting, is that what you're saying?
If you want to have a motion, just go ahead, and put it on the agenda for next month and be good with it.
Kind of like this? No, I'm okay with it. If we don't do anything now, I'm okay. We
Fine, we'll bring it up.
ended up, we're here.
Well, the works, I mean, definitely needs to be reviewed, no question.
Why don't you make a motion as to when you think we should look at this and review it, so that this.
Let's pull up a calendar, because it's not that far away.
No, it's not. I mean, if the motion passes, then that's what we're doing. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
All right, so the board can entertain a motion to review Bruce Zigian or Izigian? Gideon, okay, thank you. I always get that wrong. Up for review his performance as ordinance officer at the regularly scheduled board meeting on Wednesday, March 11th at 12:30 p.m. for review of his pay and hours. Do
I'll
I?
second that.
Are you sure that's the board meeting?
No, work session.
You said board meeting.
Did I say board meeting? Oh, regularly scheduled work session. I gotta start it over again.
Okay.
It's got to talk fast.
Yeah. All right, so I'll entertain him, or I'll put a motion forward that we review Bruce Zidian's pay and hours at our next regularly scheduled work session on Wednesday, March 11th, 12:30 p.m.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Any further discussion from the board? Okay, hearing none. Could we have a roll call on that, please, clerk?
Well, since he's already at 15, well, okay, because we're gonna discuss. Oh, all right.
It's just to talk more about it.
Yeah, okay. Let's go with, let's be that next.
Yes.
Trustee Monet,
Yeah,
Treasurer Hop,
Yes.
Supervisor Bertrand,
Yes.
and Clerk Kern, yes.
Okay. All right, motion carries 5-0. So it will be on that agenda, or that agenda. What's the date on that? Let me write that down.
March 11th,
So,
March 11th.
Okay, next thing on the agenda, how we doing here? Yeah, not real bad. Number 4 is to discuss, and this isn't, not to go into any great detail. I just need to get a heads up on where people are and then forward information to Pam or make sure somebody's completely lost. To discuss the standing of each department's budget at this time and going forward into fiscal year 26-27. So it'll stop right there. So she handed out information last week that the different departments were supposed to try and kind of get an idea and look at it a little bit. And it certainly was not meant to box out the trustees if you get any. So mostly I just want to make sure we each did have a chance to look at it. We're moving along. Because when we set the budget meeting dates, if it's not making sense at this point, please get a hold of Pam or me. I know kind of most of it. But we got to roll. We cannot end up at the last minute on this thing, so I'm going to propose some dates.
I
So-
do have a comment if we're going to take any comments.
Sure. It's just a discussion.
Okay, just a discussion. Okay. So, and I think Treasurer Hobbs is aware of this as well. So going through this, I do have a concern that's maybe able this out, it's before to Pam, but I think Kevin knows about this as well. That compost wages and such are under 517, which is the trash assessment. And I think it would be prudent and wise for us to get some clarification. Is the language within the trash assessment, does it cover the compost site? Fees, wages, and or otherwise? There's too many lingering questions out there because I've been informed that it should be possibly coming from Parks and Cemetery.
and the treasurer got an apology for where she was dead wrong. For the last 10 years, it's been from the.
What I want to see is the actual millage.
I'm not feeling like that.
What does the millage state? Both of those two.
I agree.
How does it read? Because I don't know, maybe it should be coming out of parks.
Yeah, this is just obviously just open discussion.
And
It's a question that is, and actually it's been brought up.
we need to get, actually a copy of the millage. And read it. And then I would say then, depending on how we interpret the reading of it.
Yeah.
Then we would decide where this should come out of it. That's my opinion.
We're just going by
Yeah.
the schedules for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
It always
Yeah.
came out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's worth just to make sure. And obviously,
Nothing wrong with looking at it.
obviously, if just, first, hoops and giggles, basically. So obviously, if compost wages and some, other things, compost sites not supposed to come out of, line item 517, then obviously the GFL
It's,
shortfall is bad.
it pays for itself.
Yeah, I
Man.
mean, so,
And that, which it should,
Yeah.
because you're only taking in money, you're only paying out what you take in. That's not supposed to make money really on that.
right.
So, yeah, I mean, we just need to get a hold of the actual millage reading.
Yeah.
Millage itself and read it.
Okay, so I take that to mean that you did have a chance to look at the primary thing, what Pam was looking at initially and what we talked about was to project what you might see different coming into the next year. Obviously, we got to look at the millage, but I mean, for each department, you should have a rough idea if you think you're going to need more money for something, if something wasn't enough last year. So if the process started, then we're ahead of ourselves already from last year. Is there any other comments from the board then about, we started rolling?
Yep. No, that's all I have is.
Okay, then the second part of this would be to set the budget meetings to be on the following dates and notice to the Holton Lake Resorter as appropriate. So we went over this and I'm gonna propose this, after we talk a little bit. February 25th is next week, Wednesday. Again, the goal is to not end up in the final week screwing around with, trying to do public hearings or anything like that. February 25th is it next Wednesday. We can post a meeting as that would be our first formal budget work session. Question to you guys would be, do you want to stick with 12:30? Does 12:30 work? These are all Wednesdays. As far as Timothy, as far as you working,
Mhm.
but they don't have to be at 12:30. If a different time works better, I'm here. It's kind of about you two. If there's, Steve working and you working.
I can already tell you I'm not available in the morning of that day. So I could be available by 12:30, but I'm not available that morning. Just throwing it out there. It's not about me, but hey,
Well, just because there's going to be two of these.
yep.
They don't have to be at the same time. They could both be later. That's why I'm asking. It probably matters more to you two than it does to us.
Actually, I think Greg and I have tossed this around before in a broadest sense is that the earlier the better, so everyone's day isn't completely interrupted and shot. You guys are already here. If you want it during, office hours, so to speak, I mean, I certainly can work around that one. I can be available by 12:30.
So, Steve, in general, is early, like 9:30 better than 12?
It's better, Wednesdays are generally good for me. Because I'm on call, so if I could call back, go to work, so.
February 25th at 12:30.
I thought they were just talking 9:30 because earlier was better,
Timothy just said he couldn't make it.
Yeah, I can't be here right on that day.
but generally the earlier was better.
No, I said generally, Greg and I have spoken about the earlier the better to get them out of the way. So I do want days in there, but I already have plans in the running on that day.
And I do agree that
No.
earlier is better,
So we can get that one done, February 25th, 12:30.
but that's
Good.
that's the work session. Oh, no, that's the budget work session. That's right. Okay. Let's leave it at 12:30 then. I don't care.
So February 25th at 12:30 certainly works for me.
All right, what's the next Wednesday?
March 4th would be the second budget work session. And these dates are important because right there, we need to post the budget hearing. So the meeting's not being on a Wednesday. If we pretty much know where we're at, we can post with the newspaper because it needs to be in there or should be in there for 2 weeks to give people proper notice.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one, it would be February 25th. The next one would be March 4th. And my God, we should be pretty close to done.
9:30, Timothy?
Sure, as far as I know right now, but I don't have my schedule in front of me. But yes,
Okay.
Okay, let's do 9:30 there.
And that's a Wednesday as well.
There's a Wednesday as well.
Mhm.
That then leaves the March 11th rig at 9:30 on that.
And that's our regular work session.
No, that's a budget work session.
No, you're right.
Okay, let me back up. Talking about March 4th,
Yeah, that's the budget.
9:30
Right.
would be the second budget work session.
Mm-hmm.
When we come out of there, we're gonna end up posting the budget hearing. Or will have done the day before.
Mhm.
So this leaves March 11th, which is our regular board work session,
Mm-hmm.
open to clean it up if we still got
Oh.
problems.
I see. Sure.
So on the 4th, we're gonna post the public hearing 2 weeks into the future. So the public hearing will come out being on March 18th. So March 11th is a little wiggle room in case we need it. March 18th would be the public hearing for the budget, and that is a regular board meeting day, and we did this last year where we'll do the budget at 5. We can do the budget meeting at 5 and do a board meeting at 7. So that covers the bases as far as I could figure, as far as posting things and residents need to be able to look at the draft. All of that stuff should get covered if we do it this way. It gives us enough time we pretty much nail it down, I think, at the end of the second one, but we got a third one if we need it, and we won't be posting special meetings. We already have a meeting that day. That's a regular board work session at 12. So just in a general consensus, does that work for everybody or?
I tell you.
Yeah, for now. Sure.
Sure.
Let's move, let's do it.
Okay, then I will, move forward with that plan. Okay, number 5.
No, number 6,
What do you got for 6?
discussion motion on creation of Lyon Township.
Oh, I got the numbers.
Okay,
I skipped the number somewhere.
sorry.
I had number 4 as what we just went over.
I have 5 for that one.
Okay. Next is to seek board approval on creation of a health and safety committee to do monthly walkthroughs of all township properties and buildings starting first week in April. Representative each from the township board, park and rec committee, fire department, library, maintenance department, planning commission should be included on this committee. I ran this one by before and I'm gonna run it again because I'm used to working that way in other municipal organizations. And to open it up for discussion, I'll make a motion that we create a health and safety committee to do monthly walkthroughs for all township properties and buildings starting first week of April. Do we have a second? One more time on a second. Okay, hearing none. There is no, excuse me, no motion. Okay, next. Discussion on camera placement at Park, should have said Phoenix Park.
That's on
Probably doesn't,
mine.
yeah.
Oh.
This is a grant oriented thing. 8 months ago, we looked at putting a camera at the compost site by the recycle bins because of complaints, internal complaints about garbage getting thrown in there. And potentially when they're full, garbage getting laid by the gate. I was pretty much all in on that. Got a proposal, then found out we could potentially get help with a grant for that kind of stuff. So the original bid, I told them to sit on it. Let me see if we can get some grant money. As the months went by, it became apparent, this is my personal opinion, there is no problem there that needs to have the camera there. The recycle bins on the heavy weekends in the summer, they get used, stuff ends up on the ground, pick it up. I ripped the bags open in the recycle bins and worked at the compost site a couple different times. It's not garbage, it's people are bagging up their cans and bottles, rinsed out cat food cans, whatever. I didn't find any garbage. And in any case, it didn't turn into anything that warranted putting a potentially $5,000 camera. So from there, I switched to, we now have this magnificent fish sculpture. We're going to put at Phoenix. I'm concerned that we do everything we can to keep that thing safe. The camera at Phoenix is on the southwest corner. The access to viewing where this fish is going to be put is not good. So I had the guy from the same company come out and yesterday we looked at moving that one. So I'm throwing this out to you guys because if we could move it down to where it's actually looking straight at the fish, and then we could put a sign there that says, you know, we have video here. We're doing everything we can to get the fish up in the air high enough where it can't be messed with. But the grant may only cover replacing the camera where it exists. It may cover moving it. So he's going to give me 2 quotes. And the bottom line is, if we could get the grant's only for $2,500. So we still got to come up with another, whatever it is. So I wanted to throw it out there today just to make sure you guys understand where that's kind of going. So when I get the bids, and I may have them by, next week even. That's where that situation sits. So for open discussion, unless somebody really believes strongly that it should go at the compost site, that's where I'm at after 8 months of looking at this.
So do we have a camera currently then at Phoenix Park?
Not that I, well,
Yeah, but it's on,
it's way at the end, yeah.
it's on the southwest corner. So it's looking back across the whole park.
Mhm.
And the pavilion is actually kind of in the way where the fish is gonna end up. But either way, it's far enough away that I don't know that you would be able to identify.
So you're suggesting to move it?
Move it down the fence line to where it's almost exactly opposite of where the fish is.
Is it possible to move the?
Well, wait a minute, move it halfway down the fence line.
Hang on, one question at a time. Is it possible for what?
Would it be possible to move the location of the fish, since how it's not anchored down yet, over closer to where the camera is, so you.
Location, yeah, the location was determined based on the Tracy Smith, the same person. There's money that funded this stuff. What they want is a photo op. So when we looked at the park, there's a spot right there where there's two trees and then the lake is in the background. If you put it there, it's a pretty good photo op situation right there. Not that it couldn't be moved, but that's kind of where we landed. Now, the height of it still needs to be determined based on the structure they make to put it up. Moving it, to me, would be harder than moving the camp, because I didn't see any other places where, for a camera shot, you want the lake in the background and you want borders on the picture.
Yeah, I understand that. I just wondered if there was another spot where we had a panoramic lake view that was closer to the camera.
I guess I didn't see one. It's not completely ruled out. And again, this is a balancing act between, you get $2,500 free dollars and you're gonna have to spend $2,500 anyway.
So you said it costs $2,500 to move a camera?
I'm saying it costs 25, we can get a grant money up to $2,500. Then we would have to pay the difference. The bid to put the camera in, run the power and put the camera in at the compost site was over $5,000. I said, you're nuts. Dropped it to 4,800, something like that.
Okay, so we're right now we have a camera currently at Phoenix that you want to move.
Moved.
And how much is that?
That's what he's gonna give me.
Oh, okay.
It said, give me one moving that, give me one with putting the new camera if we can get it on that. We'll see.
I certainly hope this fish is insured as much as I can.
The thing's beautiful. I called the guy who's doing the stand. I said, look, we gotta figure out a way to put an aesthetically pleasing awning on this thing. It can't be sitting out there with tree sap dripping on it. Phoenix was where, again, the powers that be that generated all this wanted at Phoenix, so. That's the least people, possibly the highest chance of vandalism.
All right.
Okay, so I should have the bids by next week. Next, just to discuss, excuse me, I keep forgetting, about the clerk's office. We had talked about this a couple times over the last year to try and get to where we're updating our current key storage and what we have. And determine what's considered to be outdated in the keys and appropriate future key storage methods. It's kind of not my bag, but I know I've talked with Courtney about it a couple times, and I think she was interested in doing something. I didn't know if you want to maybe get back with us, next month or something, and
Well, we've probably got 200 keys there that we have no idea what they
Yeah.
do. They don't fit much. So if we're gonna talk about having a locksmith in there to do all these and then have the board like we do have and everything is labeled there, that's fine. But the ones on the shelves, I don't know, they might be 20 years old, they might be 30 years.
they might be, actually, my concern is the same as when we took office, we changed all the door locks. You don't know how many keys are out there. We should actually reissue them and stamp them with a number. There should be a list. Greg Kern has number 4,
Sure,
Paul Bertrand has number 5.
okay, well,
But it's a big thing, I don't know. Maybe there's a better, after the budget, maybe we got a little time.
well, that may be included in the budget then to update, this kind of deal, okay?
Money wise, there's money. The problem is, when do we have time? We had talked about trying to do it over winter when we were a little slower.
Yeah.
When was it?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the slow time, so call me and see if you figure it when good.
All right, so I put it on the agenda to see if you want to talk with Courtney, if there's any ideas you guys got. I think it's something we should do. Anybody else on the board got any thoughts on that? Okay. We didn't have any additions to the agenda. I got a couple of announcements. The Kodiak, our new IT company. They redid the server, mounted it on the wall. They came back and looked at all the switches and the wiring and the phone system, which is all jacked up. There's been too many times where connections were made, so like downstairs especially. So he gave me a bid to buy some new switches. And they're knowledgeable enough to come in here and fix all of that stuff. Plus, I sent it to you today. They want to look at the phone system. They think they can get us a much better deal on a phone system and the cost. So just as an announcement, I am overjoyed. Absolutely. The new tractor should be here by the middle of March. So we work on a lease agreement. And after making a push to let's get some hours on this thing, it went from 34 to about 100. So I believe it's at 150, we'd have to buy it. So we're right in the ballpark where if we turn it in. And the third one being the ISO, the Insurance Services Office, will be starting a new rating inspection on March 3rd at 10:30. This is for the fire department. These determine a fire risk credit score and also needs and funding areas. This was kind of in the works. They got a hold of me. I supported 100%. So they will be here to start. It's not a one-shot deal. March 3rd at 10:30. That's all I got. Unless anybody else has an announcement about something.
I'll just say, piggyback kind of on the fire department. I would like them to get this done as fast as possible. I want to know what our grade is because what my feelings are, what's going on now, it's not working. And we definitely need to make changes. It's just, and this hopefully will speed it up.
Our current rating, well, they haven't been here since 2020. Our current rating, the rating system is 1 to 10, with 10 being the worst. I just saw some stuff today. There's only a couple of fire departments, even in Michigan, that are at 4. I think Lake Township recently added a building and did some stuff and got themselves from 6 to 5. Our current rating, and this is not like horrible on the surface because we're a small township, but our current rating is a 9B, which means we do not have like forced water mains or anything like that, but we do have equipment. And then part of that is determined by, can you make your runs, how many people you got? So that's what they're going to come in and start checking. I would guess that many townships, small townships are maybe that low. I guess we're going to find out.
I saw a thing on the news last week, and this was Traverse City, and Traverse City can't hire enough EMS, can't hire enough fire people.
Okay,
Like,
that's not-
it's a statewide, if not a nationwide epidemic of people who don't want to work and they can't find qualified people. So What's
Yeah.
happening to us is the same thing that's happening all across the state of Michigan right now.
It is, we have, as Treasurer Hop said, I'd like to look at different methods, of doing some stuff. And I also have to take strong consideration for the fact that we as a board should not be in the business of running a fire. We oversee it. How do we know how to make the correct decisions and stuff in there? We're not firefighters. Things are gonna have to change, but the rating will certainly be some new information we can look.
So we're currently at 9 and the worst is 10.
We're 9B.
The
Hopefully it
rating,
goes to Z.
the rating is gonna exacerbate this process. I mean, it's,
It may or may not be, the thing is, they haven't.
We're-
2020, so.
I told you guys this. We have 2 millages coming up in the next 2 years. And if you cannot provide basic services to the people,
You know,
I'll just say good luck on it. That's all I will say.
yeah.
So in order, until we change things and get some people in there, whether you hire them out of anywhere in the state, and you incentivize them, whatever it takes, but we need somebody to do that. I don't know how to do that, but we need to hire somebody at the fire department, as hopefully a chief or whatever you want to call them, to get us going in the right direction, because it's, and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I'd hate to see, these militaries get voted down. So it's to the point now where this needs to happen, in my opinion.
As soon as possible.
Well, this rating inspection is certainly gonna happen. I have some other ideas and I have promised before that I'm looking into things and I have some suggestions.
Well, March 3rd's coming up, so that'll put the push on it.
Yeah, I might not wait that long. We'll see. Yeah, Steve, you're right. It's a very, very huge problem. The days of volunteer fire departments you might as well
On.
wrap it up. There's still some, but you're not gonna ever be able to count on it. And then I've checked on, the possibility of having another township signing an exclusive agreement with them. That the people that I have talked to are saying you don't need to, you already have a mutual aid agreement. So on one hand, we got a horrible rating and maybe we're not making runs. On the other hand, we have always been operating under this backup anyway. If there does not seem to be a need to do an exclusive agreement with a different township, then different things can happen. I'll have more on this in a week or two. But anyway, that just happened today. The guy got a hold of me. A lot of questions. And since 2020, why now? Put me for mine for you.
Yeah.
What happened? Who knows? Maybe he was asking and nobody got back to him at the fire department. I mean, I don't know.
They did get fined for not submitting paperwork.
Oh.
Very recently.
Guess that's why we need changes.
Anyway, so
Who knows who complained?
yeah, it's a coming. All right, so if nobody has got anything else to say on the board, we are now to public comment. For the public, come right on up. Microphone should work. You don't have to get super close to it.
Susie Greer, Lyon Township. I just have one question when you guys are talking about moving that camera. Is when you move it onto the fish, is it still gonna be looking at the playground equipment? Cause that is very important. If somebody gets hurt, you have to have that. That's why it was placed there. So if a child gets hurt, we can go back on the insurance and whatever they were doing, or if the parents were there or not,
Yeah,
it's just a liability.
it's not going to be on the fish. It's gonna be, you know where it is right now.
Mhm.
Just come down the line.
So it's still gonna be in view of playground equipment. Okay,
Actually, the center of the park, but the fishing.
That was the reason, I think, number one for that, not so much vandalism, we're seeing what's going on, the possibility of injury.
Correct.
So,
I just wanted to make sure that when you're
Sure.
moving that it's still gonna, when you angle that a playground, that's why it was even down there, is because of the playground.
Makes sense.
Yeah, he explained to me about the switch box that's up there.
Hmm.
And that's kind of why it's there, but he said if you want to move it, you can, if you unplug that camera, you could use that switch box, then bury the cable
Yes.
and go down there and come up where it wants to be.
It's a good
Cool.
point,
Just,
though. You
that's
have
just I wanted to.
Yeah.
make sure.
to. Yeah.
Man, well, if it goes there, it'll actually be better.
Is there, it's on this off the subject a little bit. Is there a camera at Samoset?
Yes.
There is one? I don't go to those parks much, so I never noticed. I was just curious.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing you're missing is the only missing is a PA where you can come.
Yeah.
Get off of that.
That's fine. Yeah, that's right.
That's why you didn't go to the hearing board.
Yeah.
I don't know where the camera is.
Okay, any other public comment? Yes, sir, come right on up.
How did that say 8:30?
What we doing, sir? Haven't seen you in a while. You hanging in there?
Well, yeah, John Davis, Lyon Township. That's probably the reason I'm sitting here, because I've missed a few meetings and this summer I plan on missing some more. And so I'm thinking about renting my house out short term. And I'm kind of embarrassed that I don't really know if we got some rules, or I'm asking is it something I can just stop in and pick up, or have we not established rules, or where would you get my drift?
Yeah, we're currently, I can answer to some of that. That was partially why we hired Bruce.
Mhm.
We repealed the previous short-term rental. There, one does not exist right now, so you're not the only person asking. And then we will have to decide, the last time, it was Winterfest budget. That's probably gonna be right up in there after that, as far as going over the board, going over short-term rental, and coming to an agreement on, what the short-term rental agreement would look like. So people have called me, they've called him. I can't even venture to tell you something because I don't know.
So I guess one of my questions is, so there, years ago, there was a lot of talk about the number of short-term rentals would be allowed. So we haven't, so right now it's, guy can do basically what he wants.
Right now, there is no number. I had somebody check. Their information was that we were somewhere around 75. I don't know how accurate that is. That's not much different than last year, actually. But no, I unfortunately, until we decide, there's nothing. People have called me and they will call Bruce, well, what about this? Do you think this? I can't tell you what I think because we have to decide.
Since we're on that issue, when are we going to decide?
Right after the budget meeting done, I suspect it'll be on the agenda after that.
Like the planning commission just finished up their take on what they want to see in the
Yeah.
short-term rental.
Yeah, so John, just procedurally, we're there. It's gone to the planning commission. It's our turn now. And we don't have to wait. We can vote. We could have voted tonight to throw it on a work session. We do not have to wait till after budgets.
Okay.
I'm just saying for the record.
I will say this much, 9 months ago, I had a completely different outlook on short-term rentals and septic ordinances. I have gotten information and watched other townships and see what they do and get other information. My viewpoint right now from where it was 9 months ago is completely different. We have a proposal from the planning commission. We gave them something. They made many changes in it. If we approved it as a board, as is, we're okay. If we start getting into it and we get into it more than two or three things where the township board comes back and says, well, thank you, but we really don't like that. We really don't like that. We have to start having public hearings explaining why we're changing what the planning commission changed
You don't.
in something that we already approved. Well, I'm going to give you my opinion.
The planning commission held public hearings. They had people give their input,
Right, and if we were to change it dramatically,
dramatically.
yes, that's the key
That
word.
was the operative word.
So I don't even venture to, the original one that we gave to the planning commission, I've already seen facts that tell me that some of that probably wasn't a good idea in the first place. But that's just me. There's five of us, so.
Well, I would say we should get going on this because we got a new ordinance officer who's gonna get bombarded with questions.
Well,
About
that's
short-term rentals, so, you know, we can do budget, we can do short-term rentals, we can do, Three things that
Make the
want-
plans too, for the summer.
To me, I think it
We're
would.
gonna want
it'll be in effect this summer. There's no tenants it'll be in effect this summer.
It's kind of like, I was sitting here thinking about it and, with the new ordinance officer. Where we were,
Yeah. I mean, I think we should at least be looking at it to dissect what they sent us back and
I'm already, I mean, I know what I'm gonna say.
that's fine.
Okay, but let's just do the budget, for God's sakes.
But John, just, you know, something is coming because there has to be something. It's just going to be, how is it going to get done?
Something's gonna happen.
well, as an aside, second Tuesday of the month, I usually go down to Ithaca for my DFW group meets, but last fall, for some reason, we didn't have a meeting, and so I went to the Lake Township meeting, which is the second Tuesday. And they got to talking about short-term rentals. And I'm gonna tell you guys, I was glad just to get out.
We're anticipating that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
It's funny you should say that, John, because the supervisor in Markey told me a couple months ago, he said, I want to thank you for being the supervisor there and for Lake Township, because you guys get all the coverage in the paper and they don't bug me at all. There's a lot going on over there. And Cheryl covers it well. All right, any other public comments? Okay. I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Who wants to make one?
You second it.
Close enough. I made one. Second by Detmer. All those in favor to adjourn?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Voted the same, 5-0. We got for time.
4-3.
Going back for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Man. What you get for working for the government?
Well,
Somebody.
I know government runs slow, but so do, some of our
7:00 at our house.
I can tell you guys.
Yeah.
So I asked before, nobody would say that.
that wasn't her the last.
No.
The lady that bombarded you, that was not her. That was, I don't know who that.
Anybody ever figure out who that was?
It's the wife.
Oh, hang on a minute. Make sure you check. Thank you very much, Cheryl.
did you like